Welcome to the It Factor. We're Jemmy and Nye, exploring a new blog post by Mr. Len Kaplan, CEO of CDML, a managed service provider in Queens and Y, offering network management, VoIP and UCIS, cybersecurity, compliance, IaaS, cloud solutions, and Microsoft 365 and Azure solutions. If you're a small business owner or manage IT for a growing organization, this episode is for you. So today, our mission is to really get into a topic that's causing a lot of friction in just about every business right now, and that's the responsible use of artificial intelligence. We're going to be dissecting CDML's article, AI Tips and Tricks, choosing the right AI tool for the job. The goal is to figure out how to use these tools productively, but, more importantly, safely, especially with company data.
That's the key word, safely.
I think the article just nails the confusion right at the start. It highlights these questions that people are asking all the time, like, can I paste a contract into ChatGPT? Or is Copilot safer than a free AI website?
And those questions tell you everything. It shows that AI has moved so fast from this experimental thing to a daily tool.
But people are flying blind.
Totally flying blind. The problem is, many organizations don't even realize they probably already have access to powerful, secure AI tools. At the same time, they're letting employees use free consumer platforms with sensitive data, which is just a huge legal risk. This is all about being intentional, not just curious.
Okay, that's a great frame for this. So to help with that, the CDML article breaks AI tools into 3 categories. It's all based on data handling and risk. Let's start with the most common one.
The entry point for everyone.
The free tools. The article calls it the public workspace.
Right. So this is, the free versions of ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, Gemini, all the ones you can just open in a browser and start using.
And their biggest appeal is that they're free.
Exactly. But the risk is baked right into that free model. When you paste anything, into a free tool, you have to assume 2 things. First, your prompt and all that data is logged.
And second,
that your data may be used to improve and train their public models.
Okay, but hold on. I've heard people say that, the big companies, they scrub the PII, the personally identifiable information, before they use it. Is that a safe assumption for a business?
It is absolutely not a safe assumption. The key difference here is the contract, or really the lack of one. With a free tool, you're just clicking agree on some standard terms of service.
Which nobody reads.
And it gives you 0 contractual guarantees. Nothing about data protection, nothing about liability if there's a leak. You have no legal recourse, no way to audit it. It is, by definition, a shared, unsecured environment.
So let's be really clear about the use cases then. If you're brainstorming something generic or summarizing public news articles, it's probably fine.
Sure. For public info, it's a great tool.
But the minute you touch internal documents, client information, legal agreements, financial data...
No, absolutely not. The CDML article is very clear on this. It's like walking into a public library and doing your confidential corporate taxes on the community computer. It's just not what it's built for.
Okay, that makes sense. Let's move up to the next level then. This is where it gets a little tricky. The personal paid subscriptions. So I'm paying $20 a month for ChatGPT Plus. Problem solved, right?
Not quite. It's better, for sure, but it doesn't solve the core governance problem for a business.
How so?
Well, when you pay, you usually get better privacy controls. You might be able to opt out of having your data used for training, for example. The data handling is improved.
But the key word there is still individual use, isn't it? It's not a corporate account.
That's the crux of it. These paid plans are designed for you, the individual. They are explicitly not for corporate governance or regulated data. If your employee pastes a client's confidential report into their personal paid account, that data is now outside your company's security perimeter.
And it's outside of any business-to-business contract you might have.
Exactly. You could be violating compliance standards like HIPAA or SOC 2 without even knowing it. This is the definition of shadow IT, and it's a huge data breach risk.
So they're good for drafting a non-sensitive email or personal learning, but they are not a substitute for a true business tool.
Right. They reduce the personal risk, but they don't provide organizational protection.
Which brings us to the third category, the one businesses should be focused on, business and enterprise AI. So what defines this business-grade standard?
It all comes down to the contract and the architecture. These tools are built for organizational use. The best example the CDML article gives is Microsoft Copilot, but only when it's properly licensed inside your Microsoft 365 world.
Okay, and what's the fundamental difference there?
Data segregation. With a tool like Copilot, your data, your emails, your documents, it stays within your secure Microsoft environment. It is not used to train the public AI models. That's the firewall.
So it's a secure, private workspace versus a public forum.
That's it, exactly. And it's governed by enterprise terms. You have a B2B relationship. You also get auditing. If someone asks a question about a secret merger doc, you could trace that activity. That's essential for compliance.
And what about access? With a free tool, I just paste something in. How does Copilot handle that?
It's grounded in your existing security. If an employee doesn't have permission to see a file in SharePoint, Copilot can't see it either. The AI inherits your security rules instead of, bypassing them.
That's a huge point. So you have to get your permissions right before you even turn it on.
Absolutely. CDML calls that Copilot readiness. It's critical.
Now, the article makes a great point that this isn't just about text anymore. We're seeing AI pop up everywhere.
Oh, everywhere. Meeting summaries with Otter.ai, AI videos from Synthesia, marketing designs in Canva AI, even background music from a tool like Suno.
And image generators like DAE or Adobe Firefly. Do the same risk tiers apply there if I upload a proprietary design to a free image generator?
The principle is identical. The input is still your data. And with images, you also have a huge intellectual property risk. If you use a free AI to make a logo, who owns it? Does the vendor own it?
That's a massive risk. You think you saved a few $100 on a designer?
And you might have just given away the copyright to your new brand. A business-grade tool gives you contractual clarity on IP ownership. The free ones, not so much.
That brings us perfectly to what the article calls the golden rule of AI and data. I love this because it's so simple.
It's easy for anyone to remember.
If you would not email the document to a stranger, do not paste it into a free AI tool.
It just simplifies the whole calculation.
Yeah.
That stranger is the AI model, the lack of a contract, the risk that your private info becomes public knowledge.
And just to be clear, we're talking about PII, financial records, legal agreements, medical data, all the sensitive stuff.
Any doubt at all, the answer has to be no for free tools. The risk just isn't worth the convenience.
So for a business owner listening right now who's realizing they might have a problem, what's the path forward?
It starts with governance. You have to get control first. This is exactly what CDML helps organizations do, move from that kind of reckless experimentation to safe, productive use.
So what does that look like? What are the steps?
First, you evaluate the tools and licenses. You might already own a secure tool like Copilot and not even be using it right. Then you have to define very clear usage guidelines for your staff. Teach them that golden rule.
And I assume you have to align this with your existing security and compliance needs.
100%.
Right.
And you get your technical house in order, that Copilot readiness we talked about. Clean up your data permissions. This way, the AI tool actually makes your security investment stronger. It doesn't undermine it.
It's a shift from just letting people use things to actually deploying them with a strategy.
That's the whole game, intentional and safe innovation.
This has been incredibly helpful. It really shows that context matters. Choosing the right AI tool is just as vital as asking the right question. Used carelessly, it can introduce risks that could seriously hurt a business.
But used the right way,
Right.
it's a massive accelerator.
And a quick reminder, CDML has new blog posts coming out every Tuesday and Thursday, so you can stay on top of this. You can visit the team at https://cdml.com and subscribe to the blog for more insights. And next time, it looks like they're tackling another super practical topic. Using AI responsibly to summarize legal or vendor agreements. Things like identifying renewal terms, termination clauses, all those hidden obligations.
That's a perfect example of a high-value task for a secure, business-grade AI.
It really is. If you liked this deep dive, please click that thumbs up button. Till next time.